So this whole run is about people in Ukraine. I was thinking this morning about my aunt, their children. One of them is missing. I just want them to know that they're not alone. You know, we're united no matter where we are, even if we are abroad. And that we're not forgetting them, because I don't want them to feel that they're left alone. With all the politics and everything, people are still united. And that's what it's for. Just happy to see people coming all the way to Montauk to run with me. From the first step, I felt relieved that there's nothing to worry about anymore. Everything had begun, and all I need to do right now is just to finish.
You just keep running. Looking good.
Keep going, almost there.
Don't go too fast, remember.
A little more, push, push.
No, don't push him.
It's cold. The next, like maybe 1 hour, until the another car will come to us and join us with 4 guys. They will help us.
All right, we're good to go.
What's the pace?
Like 6 minutes.
Okay.
I got like 9 minutes left.
See you. Let's go!
Eat?
Want it?
How far is he?
Yeah, 15 miles.
15?
Yeah, check it out. Yeah, I think it's 15 miles.
Sanya, how are you feeling? Good? You need a break? The run's over 20 miles, 30 miles. You keep going. The scenery is the same. And you just put one foot in front of the other, and you just focus on that. It's a physical feat that you have to accomplish on the others, and it's a quite nice meditation for most of us. That's why people keep running those long races.
30 minutes ago, what were you thinking?
It was interesting because a lot of time we were talking about stuff that we would never talk about normally. Talking about family, talking about relationship with our parents, talking about designing houses because he's an architect. Скільки ти маєш?
Marathon.
Right here?
I was persistent, and I knew that, you know, I want to do that 24-hour window. I want to fit into that. So because of that, I didn't want to waste any second. And because of that, I just came to the car, grabbed anything I needed, and just took off.
Like, I understand how hard for him to do this, and like it's supposed to be everything on the side. He needs just to run, and we need to make a service for him, to give him water, everything. He, in his mind, only running. In our mind, all around the running for him. Almost lunchtime. He close to run 50k, and which means it's quarter distance before we came to Brooklyn.
What are you trying to say to Andrew right now?
Easy like that.
They probably here on the road, so he still has to run 3.4 miles, and we're gonna meet him here on this location, and I'm gonna join, and we'll run with Andrei
Yeah.
for at least 25 miles.
We're just here to support our friend, our dad.
We're running the marathon together, kind of, at the beginning. So he mentioned he wants to do this challenge. So I said, you know what? I'm gonna support you. Promise is the promise. I'm here just to support a good person, no, for the good cause.
So after finishing the first marathon, I started to get a little fatigued. But then I saw a car, familiar car, full of familiar faces. Those were my friends and family and my kid. And it reminded me, why am I doing this?
He didn't sound like right now that he can make it because when he ran his 50-mile race, he was more energized. Today, it didn't sound this way, but I hope I'm wrong.
We're driving so Andre can have a vest because it's getting dark. So he needs a reflective vest. And I go and see him and give it to him and his running partner right now.
See you.
I'm good. I'm getting a little fatigued. I'm getting a little tired of running. Kind of like boring. Physically, I'm still okay, even though the legs are, starting to hurt a little bit. Overall, it's fine.
I had the pleasure to run this entry, and actually I changed my goal from 36k to 36 mile. He did almost 100k, and I think 100k ahead. So we're doing great so far.
Ta-da-dum, ta-da-dum.
Pacers were always by my side, showing me the route, giving me the food, and trying to predict what I would need at the next nutrition station. I came to the car. I already had everything I needed, an extra, if my body would crave for something unexpected.
How do you feel now after the ramen?
Yeah, good. Way better. But I'm still standing. Got a little cold, so also I'm shaking 110 kilometers. So 90 more kilometers.
Just keep going, keep going. Almost there.
It's dark and he doesn't have any energy, but he still need to fight, and he need to find some internal energy from inside and just keep going. I guess when he will come to the closest to the city, when he will see the park and the road when he usually training, he will get some power and he will complete the race.
You don't want to know another Soviet.
That the cold is another dominator that I underestimated.
It's actually -3 Celsius.
Yeah, like if I put it here, take it down like from year to year, after like a few minutes it freezes. It gets stiff. Just want to see them faster. 121. What is it, like 80 miles? Yeah, 80 miles. 121 километр. $75. Basically 2 more marathons and we're done.
Less.
And it's gonna be a little more than 200.
80 kilometers.
Yeah, but I think it's gonna be a little more than 200 kilometers.
We'll see.
During the equator, which is the 100 kilometers mark, I felt that I'm breathless. I started touching, I wanted to figure out the reason of that. So I started touching my nose, my arms, and they were really cold. So at the next stop, I started to get a second layers of clothing to get myself warm. But even then, it wasn't enough because the cold air went into my lungs already through the mouth and through the nose. Even though I tried to use nose for the most part, started to feel very dry, and I started coughing a lot of the time just because I'm breathing too much cold air, which felt like kind of water, cold water. And I started to get worried about my lungs. And right away when I started breathing, my lung just couldn't keep up. It probably lasted for like 3-4 hours because it was just simple, like really cold. And to trying to fix that, I was looking for different ways. One of the ways was we made smaller stops of the car. So started to sit in the car and actually get a little warm in my lungs and the whole body. And that I think helped a little, but not for long because, for the first maybe 10, 15 minutes, it's fine. But then afterwards, it's still getting cold. Hot coffee gave me a good boost because I didn't drink as much caffeine through the whole run.
I said like
Yeah, well, like, he kind of distracts me from thinking about the pain. That's a good thing.
Which part of your body is right now is the numbers?
Like the feet are burning. From time to time, I'm feeling my my knee, left knee, and like over here, from both sides. Reminder: we need to be strong. To bring focus back to Ukraine, to everything that is going on over there, because everything got distracted with elections and everything. Some Ukrainians say they got tired, that are abroad, forgetting that Ukrainians in Ukraine sleep during the missile sirens and during the attack. They just got used to sleeping in the corridor. We need to remind that for them.
So we're really hoping for the sunrise. Sasha was with me to the Long Island. Another issue popped up, which was my blisters. I remember that moment where I could feel one of my nails actually like detaching.
What I'm doing is nothing in comparison to like soldiers that sit in trenches are going through day to day, from shelling and everything.
At one point, I was thinking whether it makes sense to finish it because of the line, because they were hurting so bad. Didn't want to permanently hurt myself, so I was kind of observing whether it makes sense to continue with those lungs and how much are they getting affected. If I'm slowing down, my breath is slowing down as well, same as a heart rate, and because of that, I can actually move through and get it through. Same thing with my legs. If I could slow down, I can decrease the pressure a bit, and because of that, the pain is less, but I could still move forward to the finish line.
4 miles went pretty well. Andrei started to keep up with the pace and he almost didn't stop. He mostly walked the previous segment, but this one he did really well. I think he'll keep going, he'll finish strong.
I was actually waiting, anticipating to see the Rockaway because that's the place where me and my wife and friends bike around that Rockaway loop. And I just couldn't wait to see that.
Yeah, even though sun woke up, I'm like warming up to like my back. The problems that I started feeling the ocean breeze, which is not too good.
So then afterwards, it was really painful to run. I felt like my legs are burning from the blisters. We tried to spray it, but it didn't last long. It just kept on burning. They popped, they're still there, and I still had to move forward because it was hurting. It's a little weird to run on the jellies in your sneakers. I tried to manage the pain and go through it, even though I felt jelly in my sneakers, some of my nails touched, but I still wanted to finish, and because of that, I needed to slow down a bit, but then still keep on moving. So sometimes you can choose which one of the ways is working to get to the finish line.
200. I want to thank everyone for the best support. It's the best. Organize everything. He came from Philadelphia.
Even though we still weren't at the park, which was the final, but I knew the biggest goal was accomplished. And even though it was 200 and I could just finish, and a lot of my friends were to forget about it and just drive over there to the finish line, I still wanted to reach the park as I was promised, using my own foot to run there, rather than taking an easy way out. But I'm the lucky one. Soldiers there in the trenches. This is only as a challenge to myself versus them doing it on a daily basis. In this dark winter, what about their relatives? They're sitting in the corridors, waiting for the sirens to go off. I think it's, for the most part, it's positive thinking throughout the race. And just thinking, I'm gonna see like my wife, kid, and get some energy from them, some boost to having wonderful people around who are supporting me. And that gave me so much more energy than anything. We all have to remember that after a dark night comes the morning.